sexual wank pheasants.
WTF! WTF!
Hello, I'm Ross Twiddell from Cultaholic.com. You're my sexual wank pheasants, and welcome to all of the WTF moments from last night's WWE Raw. A WWE Raw where we learned that WWE are going to start experimenting with more backstage segments, where we learned that Brock Lesnar isn't who we thought he was, and we learned that Paul Heyman is the biggest big dog in WWE because he humped Kurt Angle's leg. Well then, it looks like the big dog is a gay fish! Now I think it's time for all of us to question why the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam, has become the biggest event of the summer. What does it mean? Are we all going posh or something in WWE now? Does this mean that WWE are going to start selling their own tuxedos on shop.com? I just don't understand what's going on. Why would you make the biggest party of the summer sound a little bit more boring than it actually is by calling it an event? You don't get two at events. Made a grave mistake, Corey. Stop it now, Corey. His feet did not hit the floor first. We all saw that one of them was being kept up by the ring skirt, and you're making this whole scenario with Roman Reigns and the greatest Royal Rumble the single biggest joke since loyalty in punk rock. Brock Lesnar, aka Ape Man. Does that mean he's the Universal Champion? 5 stars. So according to Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar never shows up to WWE, even though he was there last night, and he always has time to show up in UFC. He's done that once as well. So then, with mathematical prowess like that, we learned last night that dogs cannot see colour, they can't look up, and they cannot do math because Roman Reigns can't count. 1 and 1's the same. Let's just call it like it is, Roman. Brock's been to work more times in WWE this year than he has made appearances in UFC. Granted, it's been nowhere enough, but no need to exaggerate, you fool. Tell me you heard what Roman Reigns said about you. Paul Heyman said to Brock Lesnar. Obviously I didn't. Brock Lesnar said, I don't watch the show. Brock Lesnar said, why would I watch the show? Brock Lesnar said. So here WWE are trying to paint Brock Lesnar as some sort of obnoxious arsehole, and in the process they're making him the single most relatable champion since Stone Cold Bastard Austin. Mago, 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 mago. Interesting story developed here between Baron Corbin and your boy Finn Bálor, according to Mago Cole. Really?
Adam. Yes, Ross. Do you struggle to stand up on the bus? Sometimes, yeah, my head grazes the roof. Do you struggle to stand up on the bus? No, because I'm of average size. Oh, God. Let's have a wrestling match! Yeah, let's wrestle! Ross. Yes, Adam. Do sometimes you struggle to reach the top shelf in supermarkets? Often, yes, I do. I need to call for assistance. Oh, God. They get the ladder out and I don't, because I'm really tall. Oh, you bastard! Let's have a wrestling match. Adam. Yes, Ross. You know when you walk through a door? Yeah. Do you sometimes bang your head off the top? Oh, sometimes I had to crouch a little bit. Do you? No, not that problem. Walk straight for every time. Let's have a wrestling match. Come on.
Nope. Jonathan Coachman, think before you speak, you damn numpty. So here we have Michael Cole reeling off all of big, baldy bastard Baron Corbin's accomplishments in WWE, in boxing, in American football, and then Coachman replies to that, do you think big, baldy bastard Baron Corbin would have enjoyed all the success he's enjoyed in recent months if it wasn't for those lady balls? He hasn't won a match since shaving his pissing head, man. Probably. However, he did win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, he did win Money in the Bank, and he did win the United States Championship before he started suckling on the juicy, nutritious goodness of those lady balls. So Coachman, what is your point? Corbin may be out cold, screams Maggle Cole just after Baron Corbin clocks your boy Finn Bálor. And it's clear for all to see that Maggle Cole is off his tits on some sort of hallucinogenic because a bona fide little person is being seen as a giant and a giant as a little person. And next up we have Maggle Cole screaming, Corbin looking for the choke slam. Now I know Maggle Cole that Baron Corbin is not the most compelling superstar in WWE, but when have you ever seen a man hit a bloody choke slam? We all know he doesn't do a choke slam, but he does a choke slam backbreaker thing over his knee, which I don't know the name of, so I'll call it the scalp slamming suffering succotash son. That'll do, because he's bald. Haha, scalp. So next up we have the moment where Kurt Angle was all like, how? Paul Heyman, if you do not get Brock Lesnar out in front of that crowd, your contract with WWE is terminated. Bull bollocks, Kurt, mate. We all know you have no power. All the power in the world is in those lovely, succulent lady balls. You are lady balls' bitch, and never forget that. Now imagine calling Alicia Fox the veteran in the middle of a match where she's taking on Natalya. Well, that's what Michael Cole did in a moment that is just as ridiculous as calling somebody from Cultaholic a numpty while they're in a room full of people from Wrestle Talk TV. And next up we have Michael Cole telling us all that we need to remember that in recent months Natalya's had issues with her knee. Don't you mean knee issues, pal? Because as we all know, Natalya couldn't work out for weeks which knee was actually injured. She was getting all Mickey Mouse on her arse, she couldn't work out whether it was that knee or Disney. Haha! And I thought Alexa Bliss was supposed to be the clever one in the women's division. There she is, stood right next to the ramp. The ramp looking like an empty field full of luscious grass, yet what does she do? Instead of running away and buggering off her championship, forget about it, pal. Someone will give you back after the show. Ronda Rousey's gonna kill you for Christ's sake. She runs around the side of the ring, makes no attempt to get her title back, and then runs straight into the wonderful arms of Ronda Rousey. The wonderful arms. Oh. Alexa Bliss is a silly goose. Now it's time for a double whammy. First of all, we have the visual of Alicia Fox dominating Ronda Rousey. Nothing against Foxy, of course, but that match last night felt like her first match on Raw since about 2012, so seeing her ragdoll the most dangerous woman on the planet just felt a bit wrong. And then we have Jonathan Cushman claim that Alicia Fox has been the MVP of Monday Night Raw so far, an episode of Monday Night Raw, of course, that include the likes of Kurt Angle, Paul Heyman, Baron Corbin, your boy Finn Bálor, Brock Lesnar, Ronda pissing Rousey, Alexa Bliss, even Natalya for Christ's sake, but none of those matter. Alicia Fox is the MVP after she was handed a victory and then sneak attacked Ronda Rousey. Coachman's off his tits, pass it on. Now let's all forget about Brock Lesnar potentially reading his magazine from back to front. When I open a fresh page, I do that. I check out the scenery, see what's going on. The real WTF moment here, of course, is that Brock Lesnar is actually reading actual words. Well done, Brock. Next up, I'll whap out the hungry caterpillar. And sticking with Brock Lesnar, according to the man himself, he likes his steaks done medium well, and I am not believing that for a second. We all know he gets a live animal, he punches it in the throat to kill it, and he shaves it bald with those pedigree chums inside of his mouth before eating all of the meat raw. We all know this, so why is he lying? So apparently, in WWE land, we're supposed to be upset with Elias attacking Bobby Lashley after Bobby Lashley completely murdered a lovely classic in Rockin' Robin, and bollocks to that. I'd have done the same. The bath turd, he murdered a bastard classic for Christ's sake. Just like with Brock Lesnar earlier in the night, WWE tried to tell one story but inadvertently tell something completely different. And while we're here, imagine sending Bobby Lashley out there to beat down on Elias. Elias, of course, who received the loudest pop I've heard since last Friday night, since I was in the land of the pop world. Who thinks this stuff through? And now it's time for this.
Wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank.
Hello and welcome to Wankety Wank, the section of WTF moments where, just like on Blankety Blank, where they fill in the blanks, a sexual wankfest and tweets me the WTF moment I've missed, and I give him credit because I'm a wholesome, lovely boy. Thank you, Billy Anthony. I missed those main event graphics, so there you go. There are some Tic Tacs under the ring. It's Taz! Many Tazes. So a recap of last week's historic first ever historical evolution, historic first ever announcement was aired, and we were all reminded that Stephanie McMahon said we wouldn't be here without you tweeting stuff and all of that bollocks. The fans' voices matter apparently. We then head to this week's Raw where Kurt Angle's on the phone with those Lady Balls, and Lady Balls clearly says to Kurt Angle she doesn't give a toss what the fans think, and my brain is hurting more and more by the second. I hate Stephanie, and I hate this Jekyll and Hyde thing her and her husband, Mr. Man Balls, have going on at the minute. Just pick a side and stick to it, man, for Christ's sake. So during that phone call between Lady Balls and Kurt Angle, we learned that Lady Balls told Kurt Angle that he needed to tell Roman Reigns to leave the arena so Brock Lesnar's potential appearance could go down without a hitch and the SummerSlam main event could be protected. And in riposte, Roman's all like, "Oh, Kurt, man, when's this going to stop? Help me, Kurt, help me, please." How, man, Roman? You know it, I know it, everybody watching this video knows it, Richard Tummy and the camera knows it. You are lucky to be in that SummerSlam main event. No matter how many matches you lose, we all know you get more opportunities at that Universal Championship than every single member of the roster on Raw get combined. Stop with the bollocks and admit you're a princess. Roman Reigns to Kurt Angle. You're a dog. I don't know what to say. What does that even mean? And anyway, Roman, we all know that Kurt Angle looks much more like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. And then we have Roman Reigns punching big baldy bastard Baron Corbin in full sight of actual real-life policemen, yet the policemen don't slap the cuffs on him for assault. That's fine, lads, isn't it? Wrestling's fake, eh? The B&B team stands for Dream. Oh, Miami, CM Punk chance, eh? Really? You've got Matt Hardy, you've got Bray Wyatt, and you've got the Revival in there, all superstars you think the CM Punk section of the crowd would like, yet that chant still rears its ugly bastard head. Miami, you go over there to the naughty corner with the entire city of Pittsburgh and think about what you've done. Oh, Maggle Cole, a backstabber, then a belly to belly, then a kick out as Liv Morgan lays there like a corpse. She wasn't kicking out anytime soon, pal. They might as well have renamed Liv Morgan Dead Morgan right there and then. We're not friends, Paul. How long have you been leeching off me, Paul? It very much sounds like that Brock Lesnar does not want to be around Paul Heyman for much longer. So then, why did Brock Lesnar tell Paul Heyman to march his ass out there to the ring and do his job, moments after Paul Heyman told him if Brock Lesnar didn't go out to the ring, Paul Heyman would lose his job. Brock's a complicated fella, isn't he? So complicated, in fact, I'm going to rename him Avril Lavigne. Now, words falling out of Kurt Angle's mouth during that closing promo included champions turn up for work, champions defend the title at all costs, unless, of course, Kurt, you're the champion, you massive hypocrite. Now, to steal a term from the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast, Kurt, when you were a champion WWE, you were a massive dirty diddler who would do anything to get out of who would do anything to get out of many, many matches. Intensity, integrity, intelligence, interracial, and inventor of hypocrisy. That was cool, that wasn't it? And next up we have Paul Heyman, rightfully so, asking Kurt Angle why he's taken out Avril Lavigne being a massive bellend on him. Paul tried to get him out there, of course, but Avril wasn't having it. Kurt then replies to Paul that Paul is full of crap, even though we saw during Raw last night it was documented many times that Paul Heyman tried to get Avril Lavigne out there in front of the crowd. But Avril wasn't playing sweaty. I don't know what that means. So what did we learn here? Not only does the Universal Champion not watch Raw, but the GM doesn't watch Raw either. Raw is a mess. Avril Lavigne on Raw? Grab TV Channel and head over there, please.
The end is nigh, the end is nigh, time to run away, the end is nigh.
So then, right at the end of the show, Avril F5s Kurt Angle and Jonathan Coachman immediately screams, but Kurt Angle didn't do anything, apart from call Avril Lavigne the worst Universal Champion ever. Men have done a lot worse for a lot less, Jonathan Coachman, so you watch your back. Now, I can't accept this to be true, but the same crowd that were chanting CM Punk and Rusev Day during a match involving people they showed like, chanted "We want Roman." Or was it "We want Strowman"? I think it was the latter, because it just can't be the former. If it is the former, though, never mind, the end is nigh. We're all dead, lads, and this whole thing we're experiencing now isn't even real. I'll leave you with that. I've been Jim Carrey. Goodbye. If you want to follow me on the Twitter machine, it's @RossOnWrestling. If you like what we do here at Cultaholic, it's patreon.com/Cultaholic. But most importantly of all, do not forget to subscribe to this channel and then follow us everywhere we have the things.